Yo, what's up? Check it out. It's DJL7 in the house. You know what I mean? All right. So, look, me and Tulsi aren't gonna see everything eye to eye, but I'm still a fan of hers. You know what I mean? Even though, definitely, we're not gonna see everything eye to eye straight up. But there's recent news of her dropping from the Democratic Party. In fact, let's take a look at this over here. This is on the Tulsi for America 2024 Facebook page. Let's go check that out. Okay. That's not the one. That's not the one. Okay. This other one. Oh yeah, it's been put on. They didn't post it here. Okay. Let's go to the other Tulsi for 24. This actually talks about the first show dropping tomorrow. We'll come back to that one in a second. But let's go to this one. This one. That's not the one. Okay. Just had it up here, folks. Thanks for your patience. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, let's take a look at this one.
Control of an elitist cabal of war. I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue.
Okay, wait a second. Okay. So the elite cabal. Okay, so the thing is that Tulsi does rock with a lot of people that are kind of like going with the E thing, but the problem, I think, may be the warmonger situation, right? There are different people who have a top-down versus a bottom-up mentality, and I get that too. You know, I mean, the bottom-up is not always right for everything, right? The top-down is not right for everything. So the warmongers is definitely something that she stayed consistent with, and I appreciate that. I know that my friend Sebs is not going to be happy. She has done military stuff in Africa. It's not really something that's appreciated. Then she gets into this. There's more interesting things going on here.
Under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to
Wait a minute, wait. Okay. Cowardly wokeness. There is some woke ass rather than calling it cowardly, I would say more bullshit. You know what I mean? Bullshit wokeness, because the look, she's not perfect in this herself, right? We're gonna get to some of those things later, but the thing is that she's an indigenous woman running for president, and the wokeness never helped her, right? They used they used the wokeness selectively, right? They only help you if they agree with your narrative. Otherwise, right, they don't care if you're a Native American, all right? Yeah, right, running for the United States, like that just to me is like amazingly bad. Yeah, so and I don't think that she gets enough credit for that side of her heritage. She definitely, we're gonna take a look at some other stuff she says. Okay.
Who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism.
By racializing every issue. Does the Democrat Party racialize every issue? The thing is that really, some of these race issues are real. And the thing is that, right, actually, I just had an interview with my man, Dijon Powell. I'm a fan of his, right? He said the fact of the matter is that New York City, right, when we look at like Harlem, stuff like that, we see that the economic disparity is the greatest in the Democratic areas. And that was an interesting observation right there. And, I would say that the racialization is happening, like, they talk about it, but they're not actually about it, right? When you look at the DSA, you'll see a lot of straight white dudes running it, you know what I mean? And their ladies who are with them, and a lot of us dudes, right? Unless you're black or brown, right? I mean, or the white guys too, but where's the Asian American men at, right? Are we too lazy, ugly, or stupid? It doesn't make any sense to me. So her choice of words here is quite interesting, right? This is all planned, I'm pretty sure, right? She definitely looks all made up stuff like here, right? This is a, I don't think this is, I think every word here was selected carefully. Maybe, right? I hope so, but some things are a little strange here.
who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism.
Anti-white racism. Wow. Okay, that in itself is going to cause a lot of controversy right there. I'm not mad at her expressing herself as she sees fit, but some people say, oh, racism can't happen because you don't have power. I don't really agree with that, right? That's been used. There's a lot of different kinds of power and stuff like that, but to say anti-white racism, I guess that could happen, right? I do feel sometimes white people are treated unfairly, right? Now, white is all right. That's what I say, right? I'm not here to say white people are the enemy, but when you walk into a room and it's nothing but, white people in charge, there's something weird about that. When it stays in a consistent pattern, that's not cool. So, anti-white racism, okay. An interesting choice of words, right? I would personally point out more the hypocrisy of what's going on. So, I do feel like Tulsi grew up in Hawaii where, anti-white racism is a thing. And it's, for us here on the mainland, I think it's just a different perception and a reality for us, right? You'll see other Hawaiian commentators talk about this issue, right? Let me see if I can find it right now. I do seem to remember a guy. Okay. Yeah, see why Hawaiians hate white people. This guy actually has a good one over here, right? I've seen this guy over here. And he actually talks about, right? Um, the most of there's a lot of racism against white people. So the thing is that in her, right, maybe here in mainland the United States, right, people would be like, no, that's not true. But in Hawaii, it's a different situation. So I think that we need to recognize that and understand that, straight up. It's just real, right? Okay. So anyways, yeah, he was bullied, right? The thing is that they're the minority in Hawaii. So, and she probably did get bullied growing up, right, for being half white. I mean, sometimes actually people that are half Asian or half white, you could say it either way, are actually treated worse, right, than white people or Asian people, straight up. I've seen it myself. I'm growing up. It's not cool. So, from understanding that situation, which I don't think other people really might not be aware of, you know what I mean? They probably don't understand where she's coming from. I have seen it before, like when I was at Korean church, stuff like that, right? And the way that some of the, white kids were treated, and I've seen it straight up. I mean, sometimes it was fucked up. So I don't think a lot of people are gonna get that, Tulsi. We're gonna see how this one plays out, right? But I do get that. But whatever. Look, you're free to say what you want, yeah? That just seems like a strange choice of words. I wouldn't have chosen this particular, but that's her choice, right? Anti-white racism, let's be real, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, sometimes they go through unfair shit too. Just straight up. Anyways, I would have made more acknowledgement for, the, what about Asian Americans, right? You're at the Asian American Pacific Islander Conference, stuff like that, right? I get that, right? Maybe you don't feel like, I don't know. It's a little disappointing, but we'll see. That choice of words, I think, was, I think we're going to see some pushback on that. Not that it's wrong for her to say anything that's going to get pushback. She should say what her truth is, right? So that's her truth, I guess. Interesting take.
Every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution.
Okay, I can't say she's wrong on that, right? Not all Democrats are like that, but the leadership is actually pushing on COVID mandates, and I can't say it's all been bad, right? I do appreciate the school loan forgiveness thing, the 10 G's. that's gonna help me. You know what I mean? Appreciate that one. So, but yeah, this latest stuff with the Ukraine and what little I hear, I really don't believe much of it. But you know, how can Ukraine beat Russia? It's not making sense, right? The U.S. is obvious. It's an obvious war between U.S. and Russia. It's just not really like believable that Ukraine is really busting on Russia like that. Come on. So, and if Putin, right, gets pissed, I could see him setting the nukes off, right? Right? If he gives up power, he's probably going to be dead. So he's got to do what he got to do. That's problematic, you know what I mean? Anyways, another thing is that in the anti-war space, right, someone like myself, a Korean American, right, who has really, I think, been deeply affected by, U.S. imperialism and the war, and that one of the reasons why I was such a strong Tulsi Gabbard fan because of her anti-war stance, right? What about the wars going on in Eritrea, right? Yeah, what about the civil war going on there, right? Tulsi, got anything to say about that? Look, this whole fascination with Russia and Ukraine, it's really there's a lot of other places in the world, Korea, Israel, things like that, where there's a lot of Palestine, you know what I mean? Those are like the hotspots, right? Korea and Israel slash Palestine, right? Those are like supposed to be like two of the places where war's supposed to kick off. Rated high for a long time, so why is all the attention now on this white area?
who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans.
Um, maybe, right? I think that what's his name? Mayor Adams here in New York City. He's actually a former police officer, and I'd say that he's anti-police. I would say that he's building. It's a tough thing to push through, but um, not all Democrats are anti-police. But I guess maybe the leadership, or she feels that, and I could see where she's coming from somewhat with that, right? So, like some of the cities are having problems, but I guess she's not really willing to be the change in the Democratic Party, and that's fair, right? She was treated quite poorly. She was not invited to the convention afterwards. There was a lot of problems with the way that she was, and the way that the media was um, lying. Even Bernie Sanders just saying she wasn't running when she was. Those things, I haven't forgotten about those things. So those things were just wrong. So I can see why she's pissed off and leaving. I mean, it's erupting now before the election season. I mean, she's doing what she can to kind of drive it in, right? Yeah, this is the time where all this stuff is going to drop just before the midterms, right? So, an interesting choice. This also probably means that she cannot run on the Democratic ticket in 2024. That's completely out. And I can't blame her. I would say that I get that. But she does not say, as far as I know, that she's going to be running Republican, Libertarian, Green, anything, right? This is very, very, and from being in all the groups, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Greens, Libertarians, right? I actually feel like Tulsi's history, right? Like the way that she makes moves sometimes. You could see that sometimes the team scrambles to catch up with her, right? She'll just make a decision and bam, it's just like, there we go. That actually happened in her campaign as well. Let me see if I could find that story. Okay. Okay. What was that? Okay. There might be a story on that one from back then. Okay. So here we see, I'm surprised it's still like, I haven't found it so fast, thank God, right? Yeah. So Revolution Messaging, right? That was, I guess, part of Bernie's team, but they ended up leaving her, right? I mean, our revolution stuff like that, right? She had actually hired someone from Bernie's team to help her, and then they left. So, I guess after Bernie declared or something, and that was, problematic. So she was a rising star. She was vice, she was a vice chair on the DNC, that was huge, right? So they said there's a disconnect between the candidate and her team. And then describe the people, three people familiar with President Biden over the past few months describe a candidate who managed to be both indecisive and impulsive. Just announced a candidate became a mini saga that exhausted and bewildered people involved. She had vendors and staffers working through Thanksgiving weekend, getting ready to pull for a campaign rollout, only to pull back. And she started again. So, look, maybe this is true, maybe this is not. I'm not going to say this is everything, right? But this is, maybe I will actually get it. Who are these people? Not like they'll talk to me, right? These people don't say anything. It's, I've been trying to get so many of these people, right? But, our public view with Hirono and fear to other Democratic politicians and activists in the state. Okay, so Kai Kahili was attacking Gabbard, right? And there's actually another show called there's like a Facebook thing, like two guys. They talk about issues in Hawaii. Well, I think something in Charlie, right? Yeah, and I had reached out, right? It seemed that they really kind of moved on to work with Kai Kahili. So it seems like Kai's not really friendly with. They're all being so fake with it, right? They try to pretend to like each other. I mean, I guess they got to work with each other, I guess. So I guess it makes sense, but there is a article out here saying that she can be kind of impulsive and people aren't really ready for it. I don't know that Republicans really, right? I mean, I'm in here in New York. Maybe she's pulling off moves, and I know she's in Minnesota, stuff like that. There's other things going on, but this is quite sudden for me. And the libertarians, I really didn't hear any real movement about Tulsi going on, or in the other libertarian frameworks that I'm in. Green Party, I definitely don't think she's going there. Where is she going? Very interesting. I have no idea, right? Yeah. So who knows? This is interesting to me. Okay, let's see what she keeps on saying. There's not much longer. We check this
who
out.
believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents.
Okay, so open borders. Okay, so I think that would be, she's always been taking that stance on borders. And then what's the other thing? Weaponizing the state. And unfortunately, the Clintons do kind of do that. One thing that's interesting is that there was someone named Vanessa Friedman who actually was cutting on Tulsi Gabbard, like, saying, like, the way she dresses whack, blah, blah, blah. And actually, Vanessa Friedman, right? Let me see if I can find her picture. I actually was quite pissed off at her for dissing on Tulsi while, being inconsistent, right? And then saying that, Hillary Clinton looked great, in the same, basically, clothes. Interesting that they're wearing the same clothes too, right? What is that, right? So she was actually at the Minds conference. I said, Vanessa, what are you doing here? She just scurried off, right? Yeah, they don't want to talk to me, but I was like, what is she doing here? That was weird to me, right? Real weird. I didn't know what was going on. I'm still wondering about that, right? Is there a tie? Is there a connection, right? She supposedly did take Hillary Clinton to court. I was gonna go sit in on that court hearing. You know what I mean? I was like, my man, my man. I just saw my man Mark Safin like yesterday. He was wearing his Tulsi sweatshirt. Dead ass. Dead ass. I wonder how he's gonna take this. You know what I mean? Look, I still stand against the war. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I appreciate you standing up to democratic corruption. But you're leaving the Democrat Party, but where are you going? Are you going anywhere? Are you just becoming an independent? Who knows, right? She hasn't claimed affiliation with any party. She went on Fox News a bunch. It might seem Republican. She might not be going Republican. We're going to look at some other stuff, data down here to see, like, she's going to actually go speak, I think, in Minnesota or something like that. And we're going to see where their affiliations are, and maybe that will give us a clue as to if she's going Republican or whatever, right?
And above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's up.
Yeah, the nuclear war thing is, I mean, with Putin, I mean, yeah, like, obviously the U.S. is like, is like, playing around with stuff in fucking, in the Ukraine and Russia. And I'm sure that Russia doesn't like it, you know what I mean? If there was a war going on in, like, in Canada right now, and the Russians were involved, and the U.S. started talking about using nukes, I think that most Americans would be like, maybe, yeah, I mean, they might even like go for it, I mean? And it just seems unnecessary. So I can't say that the nuclear war thing is something that I do agree on.
Of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not.
And by the people, of the people, for the people. I know that's your line, Tulsi, but where's your grassroots organizers then? Right? Where's your Our Revolution? Where's your ground team? I mean, I know I have the hat on, Tulsi, not part of your ground team. Let's be real. I'm not. I just have this hat on because it's just the hat that I have in my place. It's not because I had a particular feeling to be loyal to Tulsi Gabbard today. I don't. The shirt that used to be up there, right? It's down now. I still can appreciate Tulsi for what she did, you know what I mean? But she's not really building up a ground game. I don't even know she's planning on running for president anymore. I mean, she's starting a show tomorrow, thank God. You know what I mean? She said that the podcast was to come out a long ass time ago. Where's the book at? You know what I mean? Let's take a look at that. Is that coming out? Okay. What was the book called? Is Today the Day? Is it finally done? Is this stuff coming out now? See, here's the BS, right? I think she got 2.5 out of 5. I don't think the book's even out yet. Yo, it's just haters, right? I think so. I don't think the book's even out. Is the book published September 5th, 2017? Wait. Is it? There is no way because the book was supposed to come out in 2020. 2017? What? Is this book even out yet? 5-star 4. What is this crap? It's just dumb, yeah? Is this out? Okay, let's try to get the ebook. Okay. It's 200. They even say it's 256 pages. That's on sale in 2024, right? Look at this. Yeah, the book. Who knows when the book is coming out, right? What is going on with this book? Let's go to Amazon. Let's see what they have to say about it. Right? That show was coming out later today. This is what happens. That is Today the Day. Tulsi Gabbard. March 5th, 2024. Yeah, the book is not out yet. Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, we've been waiting a long ass time for this podcast, right? It's supposed to come out like maybe 2021, 2020, something like that. Yeah, like it's finally out. Okay. All right, let's go back to seeing what she says over here.
Not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite.
You mean like the people that are there's some kind of like a social media network that's only for powerful elite people? I think that Tulsi's part of that. Um, Tulsi, aren't you working with a powerful elite kind of, or maybe like another subset? Like, I don't really see you rocking with the people that much, really. I mean, you got your Simon Biles, you're helping out like Olympic athletes, stuff like that, right? You're helping out, you're going to these big money fundraisers, and we're about to look at that stuff in a moment, right? You are a little bit hang out the elites yourself, Tulsi. Let's be real, okay? I just not trying to hate, just trying to be real with you.
Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about that for a second. Okay, so the thing is that she's calling the independents to lead the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing to do, but I'm saying that there's like different levels to this, right? You got your county level, you got your state level, you got your national federal level, and the thing is that like over here in New York City, we're trying to gain control of the election process, trying to gain control of the judges. And unfortunately, the Democrats do control it, very strongly. And that's just another path to try to like clean things up. Right? That's a pathway that Tulsi herself was on for a long time. Now she's actually moved towards another direction, right? I still have these cards over here. Oh my God, Tulsi, you see that? I still have these on my card. You see what I mean? Yeah. Okay, I was really gung-ho about the campaign. Now it's like, what's going on, right? I still have these cards. Oh man, I wonder what people think when they see these cards. I don't know what they're gonna think.
If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.
Okay, the so-called woke. Okay. So this is really an attack on wokeness. What is wokeness? Not really sure. A lot of different definitions. Okay, so then there's something else here about the show dropping. Let's check this out. I have not watched this one yet. I want to see what this is about. So let's see what this is.
All right, we are ready.
Tulsi Gabbard is a woman of first.
The first American Samoan elected to Congress.
The first Hindu and one of the
first female combat veterans to ever serve.
She's the presidential candidate in Iraq.
Hold up a second. Now the thing is that, right, just so you know, I have another video of me actually trying to get at Samoa, right, to find out why she lost that state, right? So the primary, right, she got one delegate, which is kind of cool, but she also lost in Samoa. That was very puzzling to me. But yeah, like, once again, an indigenous person, right? Come on. Maybe that wokeness is hurting. She don't want that, right? She playing up in the beginning. I don't know. It's weird, right? Like, she don't want wokeness, but then she's also reciting her indigenous background and her Hindu faith, right? Like, look, I'm not being anti-white, but you know what I mean? I got white friends too, for real, but I do not appreciate it when, you know what I mean? The hypocrisy of the wokeness, right? That is really the problem for me. The hypocrisy of it, right? That some people get put on, some people don't. Some lives matter and some lives don't. That's what really pisses me off, the hypocrisy, right? Not really the anti-whiteness of it. Okay, it's the hypocrisy.
War veteran.
I've dedicated my entire adult life to serving our country.
Someone who pulls no punches when it comes to speaking her mind.
No one else has been as effective at forcing a conversation on the failings and the future of American foreign policy.
Why were you the lone voice out there going after the neocons?
People in Washington love labels, and they've called me a lot of different things over the years.
Gabbard's seen as a rebel within her own party.
Yeah. I mean, I do appreciated like her calling out the stuff, you know what I mean? And she's giving mad props to the Hill right now. And she's trying to go across the base of the different media. Okay, that's interesting.
To face some really harsh criticism from fellow Democrats.
What I care about is the truth and what's right.
Just calling it how she sees it.
You give me hope that there are politicians that are...
I can't say she's wrong for that. When I was out to work the campaign trail and we was in Democratic areas, they was haters. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, it was brutal, man. It was brutal. So I can't say she's wrong for that. I don't really know that she had a strong base in the Democrats. You know what I mean? They are the most largest and most powerful party. And they have a large infrastructure that would have been useful. But is she going Republican, right? I don't really see...
legitimately in it for the right reason.
I want somebody who loves the country. That's Tulsi Gabbard.
This podcast is personal to me. It's about life. It's about those we love, our freedom, and what kind of future we want. You won't get canned partisan talking points or scripted conversations here. We are going past the soundbite, past the tweet, and taking a deep dive into the topics and issues.
Oh my God, have Hinkle on again. Oh my God, go ahead. Yeah, you should do your podcast. What are you doing, Tulsi? Thank God, finally, yeah? Never gonna have me on, you know what I mean? And I hope you do address the stuff that's going on in Africa, right? Yeah, it's not like Russia and Ukraine are the only places that matter. It's not like people in Africa can't get their hands on nukes eventually, yeah? Or come on, Korea's got nukes already. Come on, man.
That actually impact us in our everyday lives. You'll hear my perspective, no filters, and interesting conversations with guests from across the spectrum of society. So I hope you'll join.
Across the spectrum of society. We about to see about that. You know what I mean? Yo, the streets. I'm the streets right here. You know what I mean? Maybe a little too street for Tulsi. I don't know. You know what I mean? It would be nice. Just look in her previous work and look for that spectrum. I didn't see so much of that, to tell you the truth. We'll see. Maybe, anybody could change, right?
Me. This is the Tulsi Gabbard Show.
One thing that I will say on her behalf, right, was unlike Yang, right? Yeah, I did not see her so controlled by the corporate campaign consultants. So, yeah, and the fact maybe she is kind of I know she's blamed here for being what was it again? They said that she was impulsive, right? Yeah, but things change, or sometimes people come to a realization. So I'm not going to use that as a criticism, right? I think it's fair for someone to, when someone shoots a game-winning basket, right? It happens in a moment, right? You just see the opportunities and you take it. But once again, that was brought up because I don't really see which direction she's going. So let's go down further and see if some of her. This was an interesting poll run, right? Yeah, with only 5. No, there was more, right? There was more. Another 5 like it, yeah. How many? Oh, 44 votes. Now the thing is that okay, here's another interesting thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So the thing is that you'll see that in this Tulsi for America 24, right? You'll see that there's only 1 like here. You'll see that here's another thing, right? Only 1 heart right there. We'll see over here there's only 4 likes here. And over here there's 18, right, with the percentage, right? Something's happening more recently, right? Because you'll see, like, if I keep going down, you're going to see that the number of likes and stuff this thing is not that active at all, right? 0 likes right there, 5, you know what I mean? 1, 2, right? This group has been kind of slow for a while, you know what I mean? I've been, right, 0, 1, you know what I mean? 0. Don't put Diane Sayre there, okay. Right, even Tulsi's dad, 0 likes. Wow, damn, bro. You know what I mean? Damn. Okay, Tulsi locals, 2 likes. Even the stuff about Tulsi herself, right? Quite low. All of a sudden, right? Yeah, just like 4 or 5 days before the, announcement of her, leaving the Democratic Party, all of a sudden, this one post comes up and has 44 votes. Doesn't that seem a little weird to you? Like, look at this, 4, right? Yeah. Like, I'm making this shit up, you know what I mean? 10. Okay, oh wow, there's 10. Okay, that's a good point. Okay. That's good, okay. It's still not 40, right? All of a sudden, right? Oh my god, who's this? Daniel Burke. Oh. Yo. Oh. Oh man, I can't stand this. Yeah, she's not doing the work, yeah? She collecting money, it's pissing me off, yeah? Oh. Piss me off. Oh. Anyways. Look, the number of 1 like, yeah. Okay, this one got 8. Come to stop this proxy war, yeah. That's actually right, yeah. I think that's why most people support her, right? Fighting against the war. We don't want war no more. 8 people, but all of a sudden 40, right? Where did that 40 come from? When things break up, when the pattern is broken, right? Yeah, my ears perk right up. What's going on? What's going on? Anyways, yeah. So let's see if there's some events coming up. Okay, the first show. Okay, I'm gonna like this one. Okay, that's cool. I like Shannon Mercer. She's pretty cool. Yeah, she's a pretty consistent producer. She knows what's going on. Anything's possible. Yeah. I had put Democrat, right? Because that's what she was. I've been in third-party movements for over 20 years. The infrastructure is really for ballot access, things like that. You know what I mean? Those things are very helpful. And once again, there's a local game, there's a federal game. She's more a federal gamer, so I can't. Maybe she's right to do that. You know what I mean? But that was her choice. Bernie made the same move. I can't say it was wrong. Yeah, I'd get rid of it, right? If she's no longer chooses to be Democrat, right? that was more in support of her current choice, but now she decided to leave, right? So whatever. I cannot delete it. That's weird. Maybe I gotta refresh it. Okay, so it's gone now, yeah. Notice that there's no Republican here. Isn't that strange too, right? 40 votes and nobody said Republican? Does that seem weird to you? It seems weird to me. A lot of people are anti-duopoly, right? So Libertarian Party, maybe. A lot of people thought that Bernie should have ran for the Green Party. But it's possible that Tulsi inserts some... So when she was talking again about the corruption Democrats and does not mention the Republicans, she went on Fox a lot, right? She said it could have been a little deep to try to, you know, maybe a long play to try to scoot people out from... to try to grab people away from the Republicans and pull them to Libertarians. That would be an interesting play. I wouldn't be mad at that, right? Actually, this is quite interesting. Sebs has been right on a lot of things. So I am interested to hear her thoughts on this whole situation. She just hates Tulsi and the whole Africa thing, and that's a completely reasonable take. And I still, if I get my chance to talk to Tulsi, I will bring that up. You know what I mean? And that's probably why I'm not going on her show, but not by my choice. Like, I'm not trying to give her a hard time, you know what I mean? But I think that's fair to ask questions about that, that's all. Anyways, yeah, but no Republicans. I don't think she's going Republican. Now, are the results of who voted how available? I wondered, yeah. People's Party are disgusting. I had to say something about the Ford Party, yeah, and the Ford Party's no good. Oh my god, do not join the Ford Party. It could be Ford Party though, you know, because the whole staff is white, you know what I mean? And all the minorities and come on, yeah. I hope it's not. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm going to protest Zach Grauman on Thursday. That's another thing. Anyways, let's go back and take a look. No, she hasn't been moving with Yang, right? She could have been appeared with Yang. She has not. So I don't think that's happening. And I definitely don't think it's, the People's Party. Oh my god, I can't see that. Who is Dave Clark, man? Have you ever done, do you know about, like, there's 7 generations of people that have gone through the People's Party that are protesting, the treatment of them, and they wiped out, like, multiple rounds of Tulsi supporters from right, Tulsi people are dying for, right, they're super happy about her leaving the Democratic Party, right? There's no, let me see if they got likes. When did this get posted? 11 hours? 1 hour ago? Okay, I mean, it's still like freaking 7 in the morning. People are going to come on and then they're going to start liking this. So that's pretty wild. Yeah. I do like Jeff Young. This guy's cool. He's running in Kentucky. Yeah. Anyways, Independent National Convention. Aha! Independent National. So it sounds like she's just going straight independent, possibly. Maybe as a write-in or something. That's interesting. See, that's a clue right there. See? I'm going to figure it out, right? Is she going Republican? Doesn't look like it. She wearing red, though. Who knows? Yeah? Interesting. What's up? Of independence in U.S. history. Okay. That's... Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Who they not gonna have is me, though. You know what I mean? The only person to have third-party independent candidate forum in all of New York City in the 2021 election cycle. Yeah? Still have, right, something called the third-party independent unified platform featuring or trying to focus on third-party independent candidates, right? But who's speaking at this event? Not me. Ever. No matter what. Who are these people? Oh, they got an Asian American man. I wonder what you've accomplished, right? Yeah? They're diverse now. Like South Asian, right? They don't like people who look like me, the East Asians. Unless you're female, right? I don't know. What is this? Austin? And how much are they charging for this shit? It looks expensive. Wow, all these people helping? They never helped me with shit. Oh my. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not mad, but okay. What are my meal options? Would anybody? Okay, I'm gonna send them an email right now, right? Yeah, and ask them if they could be interested in maybe doing if they're working with me in any way, right? Yeah, doubt it. This is happening at the end of the month. Wow, wow. Oh, wow, they listed the people here. Okay, let's see who's talking. Okay, Tulsi Dennis, Chief Phil Lane. Okay, and this is Roots to Civic Rise. Spiritual leader, pray for world peace, right? Yeah, that's their Asian American man. Yeah, we are not really here to talk about, independence and third party stuff, right? We're really here for Asian Americans. We're here to bring in a religious leader. That's cool, man, but a singer actress, Lila June, okay. Veteran leadership, that's cool. They don't need me. AI supported civic education. Okay, we do need education in civics, that's true. Political education is something that's necessary. So disappointing. I mean, it's cool that they're having it though, yeah? It's just, just feel like if they get in, they're gonna make sure that I don't get to be part of it. It's fucking sad. So maybe not, yeah. Start registration again, let's see. How much is a ticket now? $295. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah? Elitist. Yeah, you gotta have money for this shit, yeah? My shit was free. Always, yeah? My shit is posted on YouTube for free, yeah? The ballers, yeah, I'm mad. And you gotta go to Austin and shit? God damn, yo. I wonder if the LaRouchians are going, right? Yeah, they ran independent. Jackson Hinkle. Let him be there. Brock Pierce, thought leader. Entrepreneur / candidate / thought leader. They got indigenous person too, right? Yeah. Okay. So now we know which way she's going. She's just going straight independent. She's leaving Democrats, leaving Republicans. Doesn't even seem like she's going green. Doesn't seem like she's going anything else. And actually, my man James Roguski had actually pushed in that direction as well, right? Fuck the parties. He didn't like the parties at all. I remember that, right? Yeah. Split up to James Roguski. I wonder how he feels about this, right? Yeah. He's also left out. I'm not the only one. What about my man Theo Chino, right? Yeah, helping third-party independent candidates in New York City, right? Like, I'm not the only one who's cut out of this. I can already think of several other people that are very well qualified that should be that would completely fit in here, but are not there. Who's Brock Pierce, man? Yeah, you smile, bro. Who are you, man? In the cryptocurrency industry, oh my god. He starred in Mighty Ducks, okay. He was an independent candidate in the presidential election. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so you're gonna learn some things going through that. Okay. MMORGs and crypto, okay. So we bring in the crypto money. Oh. The Marines for tots. Okay, that's cool. Oh. They have not. I've definitely gotten that, these people. And if Jesse Ventura is endorsing Pierce, remember that Jesse Ventura also endorsed what's his name? Yang? I think they're playing some game in the background. Actually, maybe, right? Yeah. It's very possible that they're slow rolling it. It's possible that that Yang and Tulsi are maybe working something in the background. No, because she's not part of party, she's independent, right? So interesting. Once she does this route, right, and not really going towards any party, I think that will they'll still make the play, but I don't think that those other parties will be happy about this particular move. We're going straight independent, so interesting. Let's look at this Asian American brother, you know what I'm saying, or whatever he is. I want to see who this Shayalpa. Okay. He's a Himalayan. Okay, so Tibet, that's going to cause friction with the Chinese people. So that probably means that there's going to be a separation there from this event and the Chinese state. Probably. Just not that's completely relevant, but it might be, right? Just interesting to what I could think about. Okay. Millerton, New York. Millerton is actually a lot of people are there because it's right by Albany. That's actually political players live in Millerton. I know that place. It's not just a normal spot. Millerton is a political town. Dance well. What did you have to do with the independence thing, man? What does he have to do with the independence movement? I'm not sure. Maybe some of my viewers could provide some enlightenment. What do you think? What does he have to do with Independent National Convention? What about independents running in the 2022 elections, huh? What about that? Let me go to my channel just one more time. Sorry, I just gotta do it, yeah? I'll email them my work, see if they even, mention it. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm gonna check my chat in a moment. I should check it right now. Nobody's there, let's be real. Nobody's there, yeah. It's 8 in the morning, but, yeah. Take a look. Independent, libertarian, that's third party, right? Yeah. Democrat, right? Yeah. This guy had to go independent because he was rejected by the Ford party. She's did not win the primary. She's running independent now. Or yeah, she's independent. She's a write-in, or maybe she's a Republican. I'm not sure. He's independent, right? He's independent. Yeah. He's independent. He's independent. He's independent. Yo, come on, Neil. She's independent. Wolfgang's independent. You know what I mean? So Scott's independent. You know what I mean? Michelle's independent. Jonathan, no, Jonathan's libertarian. Yeah. Yo, come on now. Come on now. You know what I mean? What are you really doing? You know what I mean? Come on. Yeah. The greatest assembly of y'all don't even have candidates that are running in this race right now in the midterms. Come on. You have some Buddhist monk over there. Like, I ain't mad, but come on now. He gets to be there, but he doesn't get to replace me, man. I feel like it's a little weird to me, really. For real. I feel like it's a little bit weird to me. 100%, yeah? I'm bumping up my man Jeff Young right here. That's my homie right there. Who else gets a bump up? Randy. Bump up Randy right here. Oh, Barbara definitely getting bump up. Yeah, she's in my next event. Yeah. Gotta keep cycling, man. Who else needs a bump? Matt Ho. Sad. Jonathan Howe. Did he make it past the primary? No, they didn't even get on the ballot. Yeah. Yeah, that's. Oh well. Oh well. Had someone's back. So many candidates disappointing. It's not necessarily just because party or anything like that. Yeah, we'll see. So you have at this greatest one of the century, I guess. Yeah. Was that again? So that was interesting. Okay. Vision for national transformation. How to get from here to there? What's my role? The thing is that the independents can't control the judges, and that's why we have Rep My Block, yeah. Because the independents, right? If you want fairness in ballot stuff, you need to have what is this? You need to have right the election judges, right? They're constantly messing with ballot access, stuff like that. Local chapters. They want to create local chapters of some kind of new independence party thing. Okay, I see what they're trying to do. What is a united independent movement capable of? Okay, so I get it. They want to create a new kind of like a political movement of independence. People that are okay. But the thing is that the independents won't have a lot of power or access, right? They won't have a lot of funds. Maybe they'll try to get them some, right? Yeah. Are you really working with grassroots people right now? Is there anybody from LA or like yeah, this maybe it's this guy from Brock Pierce, right? He's from New York or something. So he's gonna be my replacement now. Just so I understand, right? Yeah. And he has some qualifications, I guess, right? Yeah. What have you been doing since What have you been doing since the last one? Since running for office and having crypto and stuff, right? Have you been working on this stuff like me? Let's take a look at who else. Chief Phil Lane, it's number 2 on the program, right? Yeah. Let's see what your qualifications are. Let's see what you're about. Somehow this guy's going to teach us about running an independent party, a coalition across through spiritual leader, prayer for world peace. We need peace, so that's why we need to have independents run for office. Maybe that's what he's going to say. Okay, Phil Lane Jr. Let's look at what he's about. Okay. He's enrolled member of the Dakota and Chickasaw Nations, and University and Public Administration. He's a school administrator for World International Institute. Notice that none of the Jimmy Dore crowd, though, right? Yeah, You don't have Susan Sarandon. You don't have Cornel West. None of the clique is in here, so that's interesting. That also shows me that MPP is very unlikely. And none of these people ran as, are these people leaned up, I mean, clearly independent, right? Independent Democrat, not sure. Okay, let's keep looking with this. Just interesting to know what's going on. I'm quite fascinated with this whole little story. So much better than TV. It's real life. The Eagle and the Condor. Mayan 2012 calendar prophecies. Okay. Film and video producer. Okay. Deep social networks. He's made movies or something. Okay. Images of Indians. Okay. So he makes movies about, you know, Native Americans and stuff like that. It seems like, okay. I guess he's going to tell us about third-party independents or independent candidates and stuff and build a coalition. Okay, Christina Tobin, who are you? Okay. Christina Tobin. Okay, this is actually better, right? Yeah. Christina Tobin has been working in the election reform and voters' rights movements, apparently. The Free and Equal Elections Foundations. They recently did something with Paperboy Princess people, yeah? Check this out. If you search for Hunter College corruption on your video, right? Yeah. Well, there's an admission scandal. What's going on here? Yeah, they're selected. Yeah. Yeah, I did call up over here this corruption. But if I go to YouTube, right? Yeah. Good thing that comes up still high in the thing, because that was real, right? My whistleblowing on what happened over there. Hunter College exposed overcrowding. These are some puff pieces, yeah? Abolition of whiteness, right? She came with a whole series over here. Let's take a look at this one over here. Brianna Calderon Navarro. She's working for the fair and free elections, but she was actually involved in the cover-up of the, you know, her videos were used to paper over. And when I saw her at the working the Paperboy Prince campaign, right, because she was sent by the Free and Fair Elections thing, I said, what are you doing? You know, I mean, what are you doing here? Why are you involved with this stuff? Because she basically sold me out. Her videos were used to overwrite. Yeah, let's take a look over here. In mine, it comes up at top, but if you look at it, mine might not even come up. Instead, Brianna Calderon Navarro's right, her puff pieces on overcrowding versus my dissection of the school's actual like books and stuff, talking about rodent problems, right? This is me actually going through the books and showing administrators going on trips and checking their phones paid for. You know what I mean? But it got overwrite with the overcrowding, right? 11,000 views, right? They pumped this. It was deliberately pumped to. And when I saw her, right, and I was like, what's up with that? She was like, oh, that was so long ago. I was like, that fucking destroyed my life. And you just walk away like, that was so free and fair elections, right? If that's who you got working for you, you know what I mean? Just because they look cute doesn't mean that you could trust them, straight up. I've been stabbed in the back so many times. Right there, yeah, Brianna. This one right here, yeah. I don't know what you got for that. I don't know what they rewarded you with. I don't know how they took care of you. Gucci Met Gala, see, yeah.
4 finals had no idea this was happening. So did you guys hear about the Met Gala after party hosted here at Hunter College?
I actually did not know.
Here? Yeah.
Why?
Did Did you hear about the Met Gala after party at the gym?
No. Hunter Gym?
In the Hunter Gym. The theme was camp. They were making fun of us. How did Hunter manage to keep the party of the year a secret?
Well, by making sure students...
Yeah, well, they don't want students around. That's for real, yeah. But, okay. The Starbucks deal, that's cool. You could have helped with my issue, right? Yeah. They're fucking... But no. She's the replacement. I appreciate you busting the Starbucks thing, but I got no help with my shit. Now you the exposer, right? Yeah. But my issue was left to die. Anyways. Gala X corner, okay. Yeah, Tobin, she's looking still good though. Yeah, she's looking all right. She has this seems more legit over here. She ran as a libertarian. Interesting. Okay. Good to know your ties. Let's see what Brian's about. He's from Iran. Okay. 1,000 followers. Okay. Ahura AI. Okay. Seems okay. I'm not really that impressed with his political he's got some cool ideas, but he's in Dubai hanging out. Yeah, you're telling me he's not the elite guy? Yeah. Wannabe tech oligarch, maybe? Who knows? Maybe he is really a guy, but, you know, he's not. He living the good life. He living in the life that you know, you and me not part of. That's the way it seems to me, anyways. Yeah, he's the kind of guy that Tulsi hangs out with. I'll be real with you. World Economic Forum, yeah. Yeah. With your big shots. A spectrum of people across society. We'll see. County commissioner, that's good. Okay. Interesting that you're county. Okay. Are you an independent? It's different in New York City because of pure numbers, right? We saw, okay, she running for Utah County Commission. Okay, Utah, interesting. Okay. A conservative vision and strategic plan for Utah County. Okay, wow. Who are these people? Okay, so a bunch of state senators, okay. So, interesting. Is she running independent? Seems strange that she's getting so much backup from, you know, seems like establishment people. Is Utah like more independent? Though we'll have to see. Yeah, interesting. Let's look up in Ballotpedia. See what she's about. Let's see. On the Republican primary, okay. Yeah, I don't think that she would be getting all those endorsements if she wasn't in a party. Straight up. Yeah? You can't be outside the system and getting this kind of backup. It's just real. Trust me, I know. I know. See, I told you, right? I didn't even see. I was like, this is weird. I know. I'll be smelling something's off. Yeah? Anyways, look, I'm not saying she's completely wrong for that, but she's gotten helped by the system. Okay. Could look up the rest of these. I guess I'll do that later. I'm not really on that. But is this truly the world-class lineup of movement building, inspiring, educational, artistic presenters? Maybe. This other thing that they said, the greatest convergence of independence in U.S. history. Take it easy there. Take it easy there. Take it easy. Yeah? I'm not ready to say that. But, you know, Texas is getting hot, and all the influencers are ready to show up, I'm sure. We'll see what's up. I'm not going to send them an email right now. They do have a okay, $295. I'm ready to fucking spring that out. But let's send them an email. Where they email it? Okay. Let's see if they get back to me. Oh, yeah, what's up? Hey, I'm gonna change my hosting company soon, yeah? I am a... See if it happens. I have organized only third party independent forums. Election season. And then followed up with a dedicated program called United Party candidates. Framing that surrounds current political climate. Will they get back to me? Okay, we'll see. Let me take a little screenshot over here. As you can see, I've emailed, I have many independents. Office in the 22. Yeah, what are they doing at $295? My boy Brian from American Union has a plan to affect change beyond candidates. They should be getting at him as well, so I'm going to include him in this email. Add CC, yeah. It's called Independent National Convention. Okay, I can just pull it from this other thing over here. Have actually put it in like this. Yeah. And look at my up 22 right up. See if I have it was based to take on the duopoly. Yeah. You can see that we are okay, but okay, wait. Yikes, I messed up. Yeah, hold up. Undo. Okay, so you can clearly see from this thing that I'm pushing here, right, that this is clearly meant to address, right? Yeah. I'm interested in. On engaging. That's exactly just like myself. I've been working on this topic. Oh, let me go and throw this to my homies that are also excluded. Yeah, Theo Chino, what's up, baby? You're getting this too. Oh, let me do it. Rep my block. Yeah, rep my block. Theo, rep my block. So this is really upper Theo Chino's creek for real. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Where's Theo's email? Rep my block. Contact over here. I'm also gonna throw in my boy Roguski. That's right. Where's Roguski? It's been a while since we talked, me and Roguski, but you know why? Because he's been off fighting the vaccine. That's what he's been doing. I like that shit is way dead for me now. What is this? Okay. Roguski. Okay. Hell yeah. Oh, yo, it'll be nice to talk to him again. Yo, I gotta bring him back on. This is insane. This is nuts. We should talk about it. Yo. Too bad Larry Elder's fucking dead. Man's fucking dead. They still can't put respect on his name. Ridiculous. Disgusting. That's what it is. Okay. So I think that's Ooh, okay, then put these guys in the CC right here, yeah. Should I put in Mark Mixon as well? Nah. I will. I mean, Mark earned his place, but I don't think he can get anything with this. Mark's my boy, though. I'm trying to diss. Just, we'll see if he even reads this. Well, all right then. I have my own opinions on this. Maybe I'll have a show with Roguski on. Maybe Seb's as well. That would be interesting. I don't think do I have Seb's email? I don't know. It'd be interesting to take her take on this. Let's shoot this off, okay? So, I'm gonna shoot something to them and see what's up. This independent convention, whatever. You know, it's a cute idea. I see an update here. Has anybody oh, the new podcast is out already? Wow. Oh, let's check out the podcast. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't think they want that update. If I approve that, I might get kicked out as moderator. I used to be an admin. But that was removed. Well, let me see what the podcast is. Okay, so where's the podcast? Okay, let's watch the podcast. That's interesting. That'll be it. Wow. Okay. That's 2 years ago, yeah? No, that's not the podcast.
Anyone who would...
Oh, this is Tulsi Gabbard's show now? Oh, okay.
You guys ready?
Uh-huh. Oh, there's a trailer. Oh, okay.
Aloha. Thank you so much for joining me today on the very first show that we're putting out. There's nothing more precious that we have to give to one another than time. And so I just want to let you know, I appreciate that you are taking some time out of your day to spend with me here on the Tulsi Gabbard Show. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about in the coming weeks. I will be sharing my perspective on a whole host of topics and issues, and I really look forward to sharing some interesting conversations with you, with people who I know very well, as well as those who I may be meeting for the first time, but who have an interesting perspective on challenges we face, on opportunities that we have ahead of us. I think you'll like what we have to share. Today, I want to share something with you that has been on my mind and has been troubling me for quite some time and has now compelled me to take action. I love our country. Our God-given rights of freedom, life, and liberty that are enshrined in our Constitution and Bill of Rights are what inspires me. Now, I answered the call to duty. I took an oath dedicating my life to supporting and defending those freedoms, both in uniform and in public office. I had the good fortune of growing up here in Hawaii, and growing up here gave me a very special appreciation for the importance of our environment, protecting our water, protecting our natural resources. And, I used to go and do beach cleanups as a kid and do other things trying to protect our home, but I always felt like I needed to do more. And so when I was 21 years old, I decided to run for Hawaii State House so that I could actually be in a position to do that, to protect the environment. I'd never had any interest in running for office. Before that, I was not politically affiliated. But as I was filling out the paperwork to go and file my election papers, I had to choose which box I would check. I had to choose which party I would affiliate with. So before doing that, I thought, I need to do my research. And I did that. And as I read more and learned more, I was inspired by Democrats who stood up against the war in Vietnam. I was inspired by those who here in Hawaii fought for plantation workers who were being abused and exploited by wealthy landowners, but had nobody to stand up for them and be their voice. I was inspired by leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy. I was drawn to the ideals of a big...
here's the interesting take right here. So the thing is that because of the media's squashing of her campaign, I remember I asked her in New Hampshire if she saw herself as a continuation of the Martin Luther King legacy. She looked confused. So I don't think she actually comes... She does mention them often, but I don't think that's really... For me, I do think that I do see myself as part of that legacy, the American tradition of activism, stuff like that.
inclusive
CNN is talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, interesting.
Democratic Party that stood up for working men and women, that stood up for the little guy. Now, in contrast, as I read about the Republican Party at that time, it seemed like it was a party that stood for the interests of big business and warmongering elites. So I became a Democrat and remained one for the last 20 years. Yes, an independent Democrat to be sure, but a Democrat nonetheless. I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party. It's now under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers driven by cowardly wokeness who divide us by racializing.
Who are these elite cabal? Tell me the names. Tulsi, that's what I want to know, just so you know. Who are these people? Who is the cabal? 1 hour ago, oh, she's already banging it, you know what I mean? Yeah, what was that? We posted this 1 hour ago, right? Yeah, 5,000 views. Damn, shit is popping, yeah? Gonna go up quick. Yeah. Even, I had a personal friend on. I could be a sub. Interesting, yeah.
Every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms enshrined in our Constitution, and who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police, who protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, these are some of the main reasons I'm leaving the Democratic Party, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about them here with you today, but these are really important issues, and in the coming weeks, I hope you'll join me because I'm going to be going into each and every one of these in more depth. Now, the pro-war Democratic Party of today has led us to the brink of nuclear war. This party is led by warmongers who are firmly in the grips of the military-industrial complex and don't know or don't care about the cost of war or who pays the price. President Biden and Democratic Party elites have pushed us to the precipice of nuclear war, risking starting World War III and destroying the world as we know it. This is the most urgent existential threat that we face. I ran for president in 2020 because I knew that this is where we were headed. All the signs were there. I raised this issue every single day during the campaign and on the national debate stage. For those of you who may have come to a town hall or who were watching, I'm sure you noticed. But the politicians and the media completely ignored it. They didn't care then, and they don't care now. Now, obviously, I didn't win that election, so I don't have the power to do what is necessary to prevent it. President Biden and Congress do, but they very irresponsibly are refusing to use that power to protect the safety of our country, the American people, and the world from the devastation that a nuclear holocaust would bring. To protect our loved ones, to protect our children and our world, I'm calling on every one of you, every American, to join me in standing up to these cowardly politicians now. This may be our last chance to do so. Today's Democratic Party rejects the rule.
I'm trying to do that with something called the Unified Platform 22. Not really getting any help here. I've sent this to Tulsi a bunch of times. That's this thing over here, right? I still for 25 years. I kept variety of issues, two prices for regulatory garbage. Yeah, I've already addressed that. Yeah. Trying to address it. Yeah. The fact of the matter that verified with the publication purchase. This is my report, right? The publication purchase to the process. The only enhanced person goes other than Vortan running on the Democrat and the Republican line as well. Absolutely zero pendants with third parties purchasing the final vote to establish the validity of this document, even though the language in the spirit of this program was designed directly to help them. That's facts. It is. How you gonna put that together, Tulsi? When the evidence here, all right? Maybe you can do it where I couldn't, right? I'm just an Asian American man.
Rule of law. What does that mean? The people's trust, our trust in the rule of law is the foundation of our democracy. And by weaponizing the security state and federal law enforcement for their own partisan political ambitions, Democrat leaders are undermining the rule of law and turning our democracy into a banana republic. Across the country, we see a lot of examples of this. We see Democrat politicians calling for defunding the police, demonizing the police, and enacting laws that favor criminals' rights over those of everyday Americans. We have so-called progressive DAs, district attorneys that let violent criminals out of jail, refusing to charge them, even though many have been arrested 30, 40, or even 50 times. So is it any surprise, really, that crime and murder rates are rapidly increasing? That people don't feel safe walking down the street in their own neighborhoods? Don't feel safe allowing their kids to walk to school? Is it any surprise that firearm purchases for self-defense have skyrocketed over the last couple of years? Now, under the Obama administration, the IRS was used to target conservative groups. Now, Biden's Department of Justice recently indicted 11 pro-life activists for organizing an event, blockading an abortion clinic. That's what
That is true, yeah. It's a known thing. They use the IRS. Stupid, yeah.
They were charged with. They didn't use physical force. They weren't dangerous. But 7 of those 11, they're facing 11 years in prison and fines of $250,000. I want to say that again. 7 of these pro-life protesters are facing 11 years in prison and fines of $250,000. The Biden Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security have focused their newly formed domestic terror unit to target parents who are vocally standing in opposition to radical curriculums and explicit sexual content being taught to their kids in public schools. The Biden administration is labeling these parents as terrorists just for showing up at school board meetings and demanding change. President Biden campaigned on a message of unity, healing the partisan divide, bringing the country together. But he just gave a big speech.
Damn, she's going at Biden hard. I don't remember going at Biden like that in the presidential campaign. In fact, she defended him pretty much, yeah? Interesting.
Saying that supporters of President Trump are the most extremist group in our country and a threat to our democracy. That's half the country. Now you've got Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris. They are proclaiming that the Supreme Court is illegitimate just because they disagree with its
she is naming names. That's what I like. Go get them. Yeah.
rulings. They're undermining the legitimacy of the Supreme Court given their position of power in making these statements. We've got the Biden administration that stood by and did absolutely nothing as activists protested outside the homes of Supreme Court justices during all hours of the day and night in clear violation of federal law. Now go back and look again. How did the Biden administration treat those pro-life, nonviolent protesters? And look at how they treated those who were protesting outside the homes, their families and children of these Supreme Court justices live. When the party in power does not believe in the rule of law, but they're responsible for writing and enforcing laws, our democracy is doomed. Today's Democratic Party does not believe in our constitutionally protected right to free speech. Fostering diversity of thought and freedom of expression is the very foundation of any flourishing democracy. Democratic Party leaders don't agree. They are led by fanatical ideologues who pose a threat to our democracy because they don't believe in freedom. They don't believe in freedom of speech. They don't believe in freedom of thought, freedom of religion. Because of that, they try to censor speech that they don't like, labeling it as, hey, this is misinformation, this is hate speech, this is violent speech. And they are working hand in glove with corporate for-profit media and big tech to smear and silence political opponents and anyone who dares to challenge their authority, their narrative, and therefore exposing their insecurities. Not too long ago, the Biden administration even tried launching their own Ministry of Truth with the objective of controlling what information we are allowed to read, hear, and say. They will determine what is misinformation, what is true, and what is not. Now, their ideology is one of hate and divisiveness rather than respect and love, aloha. And they stand diametrically opposed to traditional liberalism, which recognizes the basic goodness of people and the autonomy of the individual, supporting civil liberties, supporting a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now tell me, how can a political party that is opposed to freedom be trusted with our democracy and our God-given freedoms enshrined in the Constitution? They can't be. Today's Democratic Party does not believe in our constitutionally protected right to freedom of religion. Now, the Constitution recognizes that our freedom comes from God, not the government, not any government. Unfortunately, Democratic Party leaders reject this truth and are hostile toward people of faith and spirituality and actively try to undermine our religious freedom. Now, during the 2020 Democratic National Convention, they chose to omit the words "under God" from our Pledge of Allegiance. We've seen over years how high-profile Democratic leaders openly mock or discriminate against people of faith, especially Christians. And President Obama once ridiculed Americans for clinging to their guns and religion. Vice President Kamala Harris, back when she was a U.S. Senator in 2018, she remarked that being a member of the Knights of Columbus, a Catholic charity organization, a nonprofit, disqualified Brian Boucher from serving as a federal judge. Senator Dianne Feinstein derided now Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who happens to be a devout Catholic, during her Senate confirmation hearing, stating, quote, "The dogma lives loudly within you." Now let's remember the Constitution. Article 6, Section 3 says, and I quote, "No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States." Now, how is it that the Democratic Party of today doesn't seem to know this? That the Democratic Party of today has forgotten that freedom of religion does not mean freedom from religion. Our government must respect every American's deeply personal relationship with God and our freedom to express that.
So far I'm not mad at it. I think it was okay, right? But then this freedom of versus freedom from religion. You're not free from religion. It's not the smoothest word, right? Yeah, I don't know who wrote that, but okay. Is she reading off teleprompter? Let's see.
And practice that faith without fear of state-sponsored reprisal or punishment, censorship, or discrimination.
Yeah, her eyes are
now, whether you believe in God or not isn't the point here. The point is that any political party that is trying to erase the presence of God from every facet of public life and is hostile towards those who choose to worship God cannot be trusted to protect our inalienable God-given rights enshrined.
I've also watched Tulsi from, a whole bunch of stuff. And the thing is that when she first started on the campaign trail, she was reading off the paper. So I know that some people just have that, that skill where they don't need the paper, they just go up and go get it, And a lot of the pros actually, like the presidents for a long time, they read off the teleprompter. It's maybe they can't take the chance on a spray word leaking out, right? So I think she's also doing this as well. I don't think she's looking direct. I think she's reading teleprompter. So I think that those words were chosen. That's just me nitpicking, right? Overall, I feel like it's pretty solid.
in the Constitution and therefore should not be in power. Today's Democratic Party does not believe in our constitutionally protected right to bear arms. Now, our founders passed the Second Amendment out of recognition that every one of us as Americans has a right to defend ourselves and our loved ones and to serve as a check on a tyrannical government seeking to take away our God-given freedoms. The Democratic Party's hatred of the Second Amendment and their increasing authoritarian instincts poses a serious threat to our freedoms. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47, said Beto O'Rourke at a debate when he was running for president. That's just one example of many that display.
Wait a minute, Beto used to be your friend. Wait a minute. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. That was unexpected.
This hatred for the Second Amendment by leading Democrats in this country. Our founders intentionally passed the Second Amendment right after the First Amendment. The majority ruling from the recent Supreme Court striking down New York's law that barred people from concealed carry firearms really summarized clearly why Democrats are so wrong to try to take away our Second Amendment rights. And I want to read this statement from that ruling because it really says it so clearly. Just as we do not need to seek a permit to stand on the street corner and exercise our right to free speech, we shouldn't have to seek permission for a law-abiding citizen to carry a firearm. We as a society don't get to pick and choose which of our rights in the Constitution are more worthy of protecting than another. End of quote. So protecting our freedom to defend ourselves and those we love, and protecting our rights and freedoms enshrined in the Constitution against a tyrannical power is exactly why we must ensure that our right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, today's Democratic Party is big brother undermining our civil liberties. Now, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution ensures, quote, the right of the American people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, end of quote. Democratic elite party leaders have had many opportunities to uphold our Fourth Amendment rights, to get rid of unconstitutional provisions of the Patriot Act that violate our civil liberties. When I was in Congress, I introduced legislation that would repeal the Patriot Act and address the dangerous secret FISA courts being used to undermine our civil liberties, especially those protected by the Fourth Amendment. You wouldn't be surprised to know that Democratic Party leaders didn't move my bill forward, even allowing it for a vote. Because every time they've had the opportunity, they choose to side with the security state instead of siding with our liberty, our freedom. And we see a lot of examples of this, whether it's using the IRS to snoop into our bank accounts because we sent someone over $600 on Venmo or the Cash App, or supporting the corrupt system of civil asset forfeiture to seize property from law-abiding Americans who've not even been charged with a crime. And if you're one of those people, good luck getting your money or your property back without suing the government. Or most recently, getting credit card companies to keep track of any and all firearm and ammunition-related purchases. The Democratic Party stands over and over again with giving Big Brother more power and control over our lives. This stands diametrically opposed to our Constitution and the vision that our founders had for us. Today's Democratic Party racializes everything and blatantly foments anti-white racism. The Democratic machine has betrayed Dr. Martin Luther King's dream, his dream of a nation where we are judged based on the content of our character rather than the color of our skin. And in their blind pursuit of power, Democrat leaders have...
So why is Asian American men nowhere in this whole thing? You know what I mean? What's up with that? Gonna help out an Asian brother, what? What's up?
Reduced each of us as God's children to the color of our skin, using identity...
What do you think will do that I didn't do, besides sell out to the sex abusers? Tulsi?
Politics to tear us apart, also they can win a few votes, also they can gain more political power. Democrats were completely silent in the face of Mayor Lori Lightfoot's blatant racist policy of only accepting interviews with reporters of color because she was struck with the, quote, overwhelming whiteness and maleness. Modern-day segregation in schools is being promoted by racial profiteers like Robin DiAngelo and the corrupt, self-identified cultural Marxists who lead Black Lives Matter. Where's the Democratic Party of today stand on that? Well, they embrace these people and their ideology and celebrate their racist agenda. They support programs that are teaching our kids in public schools that they are either the privileged or the victims, the oppressors or the oppressed, solely because of the color of their skin. They have become the racists that they claim to hate. Today's Democratic Party is anti-woman. There's no greater expression of hatred and hostility towards women than to erase the existence of women as a category of people. Now, if you've been paying attention, the Democratic Party has always claimed to be the champions for women, to stand proudly for the passage and enactment of Title IX, making history, leveling the playing field for women and girls. But if you listen to them lately and you look at what they're doing, the Biden administration and today's Democratic Party are spitting in the face of these achievements by rejecting the objective truth and reality that women exist and are not just a construct in someone's mind. They can
I saw her face twist up for a minute on that one. This is a very personal issue for her, it seems. Yeah. Maybe she knows someone who was hurt by this. Yeah. Interesting.
No longer even define what a woman is. And they're demanding that we replace words like mother with birthing person and place women at risk just to please biological men who claim to be women at any given moment. They're taking away opportunities and futures from girls in sports by allowing transgender athletes who until recently identified as men and who clearly have a biological advantage of being a man to compete against women. Now, behind the scenes, behind the curtain, the Biden administration is quietly trying to change Title IX through a backdoor rule change that would actually remove women and biological sex from the Title IX statute. Now, if you remember, Title IX was passed specifically out of a recognition of the difference in the biological sex between men and women. And by recognizing that difference in the biological sex, providing opportunities and fairness and a level playing field for women and girls. The Biden administration's action now to take away women and biological sex from that definition of Title IX is absolutely taking away opportunities.
I think Title IX was about fairness, right? I don't know what it's really about defining what a woman is, right? But I understand, right, the idea that, you know, the trans people are unfair, right? But then it's only observing the unfairness from one angle. What about the people who transition the other way, right? What about the women who try to transition to men, right? Are they now allowed to compete in women's sports? Like, no, because they're taking the hormones or what, like, you know, what's going on? So, all right. But this is something personal. Hey, we're not going to agree on everything, right? Yeah. So, not saying necessarily disagree with everything you're saying, right? But just the take on it, I think, is different.
For millions of young girls and women across the country. They're even now going so far as to claim that it is sexual harassment to address someone by the wrong pronouns.
Yeah.
So you look at all their actions, really what they're trying to do is to force us to comply. They're trying to force us to comply with this literal insanity by trying to regulate our speech and thought with the threat of punishment if we don't comply. By denying that there are biological differences between men and women.
Yes, well, I do understand the resistance to punishment and being told what to do. I definitely get that, yeah? I'm definitely that type myself.
They're erasing women and denying the existence of objective truth. This is really the bigger issue here. Because if one denies the existence of truth, then there are no boundaries. There are no limits in our society. And really what happens then is the truth becomes whatever those in power want it to be. And that's exactly what we are seeing happen in our society, in this country today. Today's Democratic Party is undermining families. Now, families are the bedrock of civilization. Today's Democratic Party does not recognize this truth and the importance of the central foundational role that families play in our society and civilization. And because they don't recognize this truth, they want to strip away the rights of parents to raise their kids, claiming, hey, we in the government know what's better for you and your children and your family better than you do. Former Democratic Governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, said last year, there is no role for parents in determining a school's curriculum. Parents you don't get a say. The largest teachers union in the country and...
Yo, I'm gonna actually get at the whole New York crew, right? And I was participating in the campaign and be like, yo, let's have a round table and discuss what this is. I'm gonna actually get all the people that I know in the Tulsi crew and be like, yo, I'm actually gonna get the Facebook right now and be like, yo, anybody want to talk about this, I'm down, you know what I mean? Yo, I want to talk about this. I want to know what the rest of the community thinks, you know what I mean? Yo, this is wild. It's wild, man. What's his name? What, Cameron, if he's still down? He's still around. And some Mark. Saffron. As well as PMD if you're down. Yo, there's mad people, you know what I mean? I wonder how what's the name? There's a lady who actually called her child Tulsi. I think she'll be down with this program. Brian, right? Yeah. Yo, I mean, Keen. Yo, mad people from Tulsi community. I'm about to get at him. This is wild, bro. You know what I mean? Is Keen here? He's not here. Okay. Yo, there's other people here. Some people that I know. I'm not gonna, okay. Some people had some wild alt tags. I'm not gonna say their names, yeah? Yeah. Anyways, it's okay.
One of the Democratic Party's biggest donors, the National Education Association, recently passed a resolution that endorses the teaching of critical race theory in classrooms across the country. Public school districts are implementing policies that sexualize kids as young as 5 or 6 years old. Taxpayer dollars are being used to bring in drag strippers and encourage gender transition surgery in minors, all kept secret from their parents. Teachers not being allowed to talk to parents about what's going on with their children at school. We have the Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Rachel Levine saying young children should be empowered to get gender affirmation treatment, which often involves puberty blockers, chemical castration, and irreversible surgeries that cause long-term harm to kids. Now, here's the thing. If parents don't comply, the federal government threatens to bring in child protective services, get them involved, and take your kids away. Families are the foundation of civilization and our society. And today's Democratic Party's policies are very quickly eroding that foundation to the detriment of us all. I've said a lot of things here today. I've briefly outlined many of the serious challenges and problems that we're facing. And I'm going to be going into more depth on each of these because they deserve that time and attention as we go forward in the coming weeks. But as we end our show today, I don't want to leave you feeling hopeless. Let's remember the vision that our founders had for this country, the ideals they set forth. I believe in a government that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, they stand for a government of, by, and for the powerful elite. So as we remember the ideals our founders
Where's the of, by, and for the people in your organization? Not really sure.
laid out for us, let's draw inspiration from their hopes for us, their hopes for this country and our potential. And let's take action to bring about that change in our communities, in our states, and in this country so that we truly have a government that is of, by, and for the people. So today, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in taking action. Join me in leaving the Democratic Party. If you can no longer stomach the direction that this so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking this country, I invite you to join me. Today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, they stand for a government of, by, and for the powerful elite.
Okay.
So as we remember the ideals our founders laid out for us, let's draw inspiration from their hopes for us, their hopes for this country and our potential. And let's take action to bring about that change in our communities, in our states, and in this country so that we truly have a government that is of, by, and for the people. Thank you so much for joining me today on the very first show that we're putting out. There's nothing more precious that we have to give to one another than time. And so I just want to let you know, I appreciate that you are taking some time out of your day to spend with me here on the Tulsi Gabbard Show. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about in the coming weeks. I will be sharing my perspective on a whole host of topics and issues, and I really look forward to sharing some interesting conversations with you, with people who I know very well as those who I may be meeting for the first time, but who have an interesting perspective on challenges we face, on opportunities that we have ahead of us. I think you'll like what we have to share.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't really expect her to really break the break her what she was doing before. There is some consistency to what's going on here, right? So interesting to know. An interesting thing to drop right now, though, too, right? Yeah, and to not join the Republicans. Interesting, yeah? Reception. Okay, so interesting. 25. What is 25? Maybe they must hit 4. Okay, so some people are still. Okay, so we have some fans here. Actually, CNN News 18. Interesting. I think other people are just live and they're just seeing this going on. Yeah. So interesting. I wonder if people are in my live chat. Damn, they're blowing up. Let me see. Maybe people in mine. No way. There's no way people in my chat. There's no way. I don't believe it anymore. One watching. There we go. Nobody's watching my chat, right? They're watching CNN chat. Oh my God, they are. Okay, so we have some fans here. Okay. Actually, CNN News 18. Interesting. I think other people are just live and they're just seeing this going on. Yeah. So interesting. I wonder if people are in my live chat. Damn, they're blowing up. Let me see. Maybe people in mine. No way. Off to work. There's no way people in my chat. There's no way. I don't believe it anymore. One watching. There we go. Still going on. Okay, so now it's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of fans here. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so ooh, where is CNN News 18? Tulsi Gabbard. What is this, anyways? Damn, there's okay. Interesting. 3,000 at 8 in the morning. Pretty wild. All right. Well, I think that's interesting just to see what's going on. Okay. Oh, hell no. Who are you, Brian? Oh, I know you're a moderator too. Brian, why are you promoting people fire? Stop that, man. Yo, that shit is a big mess. That shit is a big mess, yeah? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Nah, man. It's just, not people fire. That shit whack. I'm not really sure about Tulsi Signature. We'll just have to see what's up, yeah? Who are you, man? People party? Oh my god. No. Anyways. Do not recommend. I could say it again, but then they don't want to hear me. I have to say. This is down. This is no more live. Oh, it's still live. Okay. It's still because there's still 3,000
Important issues. And in the coming
Are they
weeks, I hope you'll
recycling it
join
again?
me because I'm going to be going into each and every one of these in more depth. Now, the pro-war
Oh,
Democratic
they got it on loop because they know people are going to come in and bang the chat. That's what they're doing. Yeah? Oh my god, these people, yeah? I get it. Okay, so because they just finished, so they're just recycling it over and over again. All right. Okay, that's one way to do it, I guess. No real analysis, anything, right? Yeah. The low. You can't just That's not What is that called? That's you're basically CNN's doing this. That's a straight violation of what is that called? That's not fair use. You're not providing any commentary, nothing. Yeah. Just, come on. What? All right. So Apple is supposed to prove that's cool, man. By the way, big shout out to Mark who started the Deaf, Blind, Inclusion webpage. That's gonna be pretty cool. Don't see any people with disabilities. Maybe there will be at the independent conference, right? We'll see if they got time for that. All right, I don't know what the deal is, but that's what it is. Yeah, so this is an exciting time for the general election. Oh my goodness, so much craziness happening right now. Oh, you know. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I think that's pretty much it for this one. I hope y'all enjoyed. Yeah, that's anything really intelligent to look like. Yeah. All right, so I think we should end it. Interesting. Brian, what are your connections with people in the party? That thing is a disaster, bro. Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, it's definitely